We can become so much better in social situations if we just learn how to breathe properly. You know, when you're in a social situation and you feel uncomfortable, you feel anxious or embarrassed or hurt or awkward. And as a result of feeling that way, you get stuck in this state. Okay. And from that point on, you sort of just handle the situation worse. Maybe you closed in on yourself, maybe you're rushing your words, you're stuttering, maybe you're trying not to cry, you're getting defensive, you're accidentally raising your voice. You just handle it worse. And then you come away from that social situation, you come away from that interaction just feeling awful. You're stuck in your head, you're overthinking about how poorly you handled it. Why couldn't I have just done this differently? It's an awful feeling, and it's completely universal to everybody. You're overthinking, why did I do this way? You're resenting yourself for acting that way, and you're resenting the other people you were talking to, or the other person you were talking to, for making you feel that way. Okay, I had this just earlier today, right? So a few days ago, I was in the gym, my friend's in the gym, I saw him working out with this girl, so I went up, talked to her, we got along quite well. When I got home, I asked my friend for her number so that I could ask her if she wanted to work out together. So I asked her, she said, "You mean with some other people?" Which, so I got the message, I took the hint. I understood that was rejection. And then earlier today, I saw her again in the gym. So I asked her if she'd seen the message. I mean, I knew she'd seen the message, but I was just feeling awkward about the way she'd responded. So I said, "Have you seen my message?" And she just went, "No." I looked her dead in the eye and just went, "I know you're bullshitting." The whole interaction was just so awkward. You can see my face go a little bit red just from thinking about it. The whole interaction was so awkward, and luckily I just finished my set so I could get up and walk away. But I remember just that feeling of insecurity. I was thinking about how awful I was at literally just interacting with people because of how poorly I handled that situation. I closed in on myself. There was a ton of tension in my chest. I wasn't breathing properly. I was overthinking. I was getting defensive in my head, thinking about how the reason I felt this way was because she was awkward and she had no social skills and she made me feel this way. I was sort of victimizing myself. And I knew that if I stayed in that state and went on to the rest of my social interactions, they would all be so much worse. I've seen this in my own life so many times. When I have one poor social interaction, it just makes me feel so down, insecure, weak. It kills my confidence. And then every social interaction, the next social interaction I go into from that point on, because I'm approaching it in that kind of state, it just goes worse. Okay, and then that spirals and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And then at the end of the day, I've had a bad day literally just because of that one original bad social interaction. And in that moment, I was walking down the steps because I had just left the top floor of the gym where the girl was. I remember I reminded myself, just breathe fully. And in that moment, I released the tension in my chest. I relaxed my stomach and just took one deep breath. And instantly, I felt my entire internal state shift. I still felt the pain of rejection and the kind of, it wasn't awkwardness anymore. I felt the pain of rejection and having a social interaction not go how I wanted it to, but I still felt like, I could feel that pain and be okay with it. I felt like I could feel that pain, take it on the chin, and then just be able to move on with the rest of my day, move on and talk to other people and address those situations with the same level of confidence and authority and strength and skill, social skill, that I usually would be able to. All because of that one change that I made. Okay, this completely changed things for me. I just relaxed the front of my body and took one, not even that deep, I just took a regular breath. But by relaxing the front of my body, I let it pass into my belly. And it completely changed the sort of the internal state that I was in when I went on to, talk to the rest of my friends in the gym. And so everything went better. I actually had a good day, all because of that one change. So how can you do the same? What is, the exact actionable process that you can implement to be able to deal with your social interactions better, to be able to just, sort of let go of that sort of tension and pressure that you create inside yourself when you repress those emotions and you don't, let your body relax? What can you do? Well, especially in social situations that are a bit uncomfortable, like I mentioned earlier, especially in those uncomfortable social situations, but also just in life in general, there will be a lot of times, if no one's really brought your attention to this before now, basically what you'll realize is at many points throughout the day, especially in those uncomfortable social situations, like the one I talked about earlier, you will find that there's a lot of tension that you're holding in your chest and your stomach, especially in your solar plexus, which is it's like that little the bit of your chest that caves in a little bit where your ribs start. You'll notice there's a lot of tension there, and basically all you want to do is just let go of the tension. Just relax your belly, relax your chest, and then just continue to breathe as you were before. But what this changes is, by releasing that tension, you're letting your breath, instead of it stopping at your chest where it usually would when you're holding that tension, by releasing that tension, you're letting your breath flow into your belly. Now, I don't know why this works so well, but literally just that one tiny change makes such a massive difference to how you handle yourself in social situations. The way David Dida describes this is where I learned it from his book, The Way of the Superior Man. I 100% recommend this book, by the way. It is absolutely amazing for any guy out there. The way he describes it is, when you're tense and you're closed in on yourself, you stop being able to, pick up on all those, thousands of micro gestures and subtleties in human communication that your brain subconsciously picks up on all the time. And as a result, you stop being able to because you can't pick up on all of the signals, you stop being able to handle yourself appropriately. Your social skills, literally, they go down 5 levels. Yeah, so just anytime you realize that there's that tension, let go of it, breathe like you would usually, and see the difference. That is everything I've come here to teach you today. If you found this video helpful, if you found it enlightening, if you found that it shed some light on maybe why you act and react the way you do in social situations, subscribe. I post 2 free videos like this every single day for people just like you. Thank you for watching.